So I have read Thrawn Alliances.
Alliances, yes.
Yes,
Best.
I
Well, it's not the best, but it's definitely good.
I prefer it over the first one.
You haven't read the first one.
I know, but
You saw the comic. You saw the comic, but the comic is very it missed a lot. The first book is one of the best in my opinion. You
yeah,
definitely
it's
whenever you're done with everything, you need to go back to it
oh
because
I'm definitely gonna circle back.
it's
It's
good.
I think
Is it?
I've got one more that I need to read out of these three, and
Yep,
then
and then the
I
prequels.
yeah the prequels.
And the prequels are, just to quickly say, absolutely amazing because it's the first time that Timothy Zahn in canon, that's the author, it's the first time, and also in canon in general, where they don't have to worry about the Republic and every other thing. Like it's in the unknown regions. It's his home that he created himself in the 90s. So he has full creative freedom, and it showed. It was absolutely
I was gonna
amazing.
say it's an entire new story,
But it
so
still connects,
yeah,
and
it
it connects to the first book. So after you're done the last part of the prequel, you want to go read the first book, and so that's what I've done. And since you haven't read the first book, it will sort of be new to you.
and
Sort
then
of.
go back to the second and third, the ones that just
That's what I did.
just so I can just so I can connect it all. Well, no, hang on, my green screen is just off a tiny bit. Okay, that's
No
made
problem. All right, but
there.
we're talking about not the book, so
Yeah,
we need to talk about alliances.
yeah, alliances. I love how our intro just got sidetracked, but
It's fine.
yeah. But yeah, Alliances was absolutely incredible. I'm so glad that you recommended for me to go through it.
I pushed so hard
Yeah.
get you to even start, and
Well,
I'm
well,
glad you did.
well. You know what?
I'm really happy.
You know what? It didn't take you long to get me hooked. It's
No, no.
you just showed me the comic, and it's I loved it. And Thrawn as a character, he reminds me of me.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool.
Only in some ways, like with the way he thinks about stuff, he goes deep into it.
Hmm.
He doesn't just take stuff at face value. That's why he wouldn't be good as a politician.
His absolute weakness.
He it's I often look too deep into stuff and overthink. So that's I think that's why I like him so much as a character.
Yeah, no, Thrawn is my all-time favorite Star Wars character. Like at the top, easily. But no, yeah, so but this is like your first ever book when it comes to Star Wars. It's an audiobook you listen to, same as me. And it's the first ever one you read or listened to. What are your it's like sort of an interview. I don't want to do an interview, but it's just I'm curious.
Oh,
What are your thoughts on the books? Like especially the audiobooks, because it has everything except for visuals. It has the music, sound effects, the voice actors.
okay. I love it because I can imagine how it looks on my own. It's like I don't know what the Grisk look like, but it's in my mind I imagine them as these like scaly aliens that it's think of the name Grisk. It's almost like this sort of reptilian sort of thing. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I have in mind.
yeah,
I For me they're like brown slash grayish
yeah,
with like
grey.
sort of like Geonosians,
Hmm.
close to that.
Yeah, I imagine them as more like reptilians, and they've got these sort of tusks. But that's
Yeah.
so that's why I like the books because it's I can just picture it how I want. It's whereas with other stuff that I've looked at books, I've often looked at movies about them first.
Yeah.
So it's I don't have that creative freedom to imagine. So it's I like it.
Yeah. What do you think of the of Vader and Thrawn together?
Okay.
And Anakin and Thrawn.
Okay. So I think Thrawn puts Vader in his place in a certain way because it's at the start you kind of see Vader's arrogance as such. But then eventually the attitude towards Thrawn, it's like, okay, we will do it this way. I'll acknowledge the idea, and whereas at the beginning it was like, no, to just completely disagreeing with Thrawn every time. So their relationship grows, and Vader just opens up to how Thrawn's ideas are.
Yeah,
And
he's always known that Thrawn is like genius because of his work with Anakin,
yeah,
has Anakin with him that he doesn't want to acknowledge, but he knows. But I still like that even though Thrawn is of course this military genius, I still like that Vader is not downplayed in the book, which will often happen in TV shows and movies where they can only for some reason if they bring one up, they have to bring someone down. Nope, in the books, they're all up. Because Vader has his own brilliant strategies that work. That even
oh,
Thrawn is like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, and it's like there was a strategy that we heard about in Rebels, which the reference was made to between Anakin and Thrawn. Anakin ended up telling Thrawn about the tactic where Ahsoka ended up.
Oh, that's Clone Wars, no Rebels.
Oh yeah,
The Mark
yeah,
Sable,
Clone
yeah.
Wars, the Mark
Which
Sable.
actually, and we need to say this just in case some Thrawn fans are listening. We do know that the Mark Sable was originally Thrawn's in the 90s, but in canon, in this new Disney canon, it was Ahsoka that came up with it. But in the actual Legends, it was Thrawn himself that came up with it.
Okay, yeah, but it's obviously it was mentioned. Anakin spoke about Ahsoka to him, and then later in we end up hearing more about it. So, oh no, I wasn't. I I see why you think I was on about Clone Wars, but it's I'm pretty sure a reference to it was made in Rebels.
Mark Sable was never mentioned in Rebels.
Oh, hasn't it
Pretty
been?
sure. No, no, because Rebels doesn't do that. Wait, Mark Sable Rebels. Let me quickly look. Um, Mark Sable maneuver. But in the meantime, yeah, continue talking. I'll
Yeah,
look it up.
but ended up explaining about Ahsoka's tactics. So, kind of, Thrawn listened to other people's tactics, not just
Mhm.
his own. He appreciated everything else about other people, what they can come up with, and adapt it to make it work. So,
Yep, which is why I freaking love the book and everything.
yeah, it's definitely my favorite piece of Star Wars media so far.
Oh, easily. There's even gonna be more because I know that Alliances is, which I actually disagree with. Alliances is considered one of the weaker ones when it comes to the books, which is insane. But yeah, You're gonna have a lot to look forward to in the after. I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and here are all the appearances. I'm not gonna say which ones, but Rebels is not listed.
Okay.
It's n-
I was
oh
gonna
yeah, I
say.
was right. It's never mentioned in Rebels.
I was gonna say. I'll,
I mentioned it to you when you watch Rebels, so maybe that's why you have it
yeah.
linked with the show.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably why, because I knew I heard about Thrawn knowing about the maneuver, so I think that's where I'm getting confused then.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
it's
it's
in the books and in Clone Wars.
okay. That makes sense then. I knew it was in Clone Wars, but
But bro, you know what I loved about the book?
what?
I just loved every scene that had to do with just with with Vader and Thrawn in the in the galaxy.
Ooh.
It's basically the biggest one I'm on about is Vader's first experience with the TIE Defender. If his quote is
Oh,
something like a Sith Lord does not like shout in joy, but if he wasn't like a Sith Lord shows no expression, but if he wasn't, he would shout with joy, just like the former Jedi as in Anakin. He would just shout with joy with the speed
yeah.
that
He
matches
would he
him.
would love it.
And he saw the laser like hit him, and then hit the shield of it, and at that
Judge
moment he knew the battle was over. They
it
won.
just yeah. He just admitted that the victory was as easy as that. It's
Yeah, because
nothing could
it's
touch him.
and all the all the things that Vader said to like, yeah, it's an excellent ship, but you need to like make it more accessible because not everyone is like him,
Yeah.
an excellent pilot, and make it more accessible to pilots, make it faster, make it everything. But I have a question for you. Since you're going in chronological order, where now, right now, you were finished with the book, so we're watching Star Wars Rebels up until episode 10, then Star Wars Treason takes place. Thrawn Treason takes place then. Since Vader absolutely loves the TIE Defender and everything, why do you think we haven't seen it in the original trilogy?
In the original trilogy.
Vader is not in a TIE Defender there.
Yeah.
He's in a TIE, advanced.
Yeah.
So, what are your predictions on that? What happened to the TIE Defender?
Hmm.
Why is
Okay.
Vader, if he absolutely loves that ship, why is he not in it?
Okay. There's something to the production could happen. Um, the production of the ship, it could be that it's not cost effective to make, but no, it can't be that because if the ship's that good, the shields, the speed, it wouldn't matter the cost because I'm pretty sure they would much rather have 10 of them than 100 regular ties that can be blown up easily.
Yeah, but
That I'm unsure about. I'm
I'll
looking
let you.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
gaining more knowledge about it.
I think we'll see that pretty close in the actual show. But
Mm.
in Rebels. But what I really enjoyed is the whole theme of this. The whole theme of the book is it started out that way. You know, Darth Sidious wanted to test two of his most loyal subjects, Thrawn and Vader. For Vader to face his past and Thrawn to face his future. And that's what Vader has been absolutely. The whole reason he was mad at Thrawn the entire book is he was questioning his loyalty. And I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I've been trying to tell you guys, like you, Evan, Turtle, like and also Jamie in the podcast, the May the Fourth podcast on my channel. And every time we talk Star Wars, I'm trying to say Thrawn is not a villain. He is not a bad guy, and I really
No.
hope Disney in themselves understand it, because I don't think that there has been some examples in this book where you could see, Thrawn shows mercy, but also he doesn't show mercy in
Mm.
some situations because he's still a military
Yeah.
admiral. But also, yeah, no, they are questioning his loyalty. Especially Vader is like, who do you serve? We
Yeah.
want. What are your thoughts on that?
It's he wants to do whatever it takes to serve his own people, but because of the way he is with the Empire, he's kind of trying to balance it. And it's yesterday when, well, last night when we watched Rebels, we could see the mercy that he was having because his reaction to that weapon that Sabine made, he he hated it
Mhm.
because of the destruction it can cause. It's like he wants
It's a betrayal to their culture.
exactly that's what he doesn't that's what he can't stand. It's he would never betray his own people, but he has to do what he has to as his military service. So it's he hate like to him culture is everything. I would say it's
I would say not really culture, more the chiss are everything. But he does value fair fighting
well
and culture and
I was gonna say culture. It's like not only that, it's he does whatever it takes to learn about these different cultures. So it's not only his own because his people, his home planet.
I get what you
It's
mean. I was see, this is where I go. This is where I go deep in. It's
yeah,
the way you said the most important thing to him is the chiss.
uh,
Well, yes, the art and culture is
yeah,
still very huge in him. the most important. You said
Uh,
the most important. That's why I'm like digging deep.
yeah,
That's the chiss. He values the chiss above everything else. His own
mm,
people first. But
yeah.
yeah, I can't say too much
But
because
but
well,
y-
it's
uh,
shown in
but
other books.
but you get what I mean though. It's
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. I get what you mean.
it's when people betray the values of their people. It's
What do you
I've seen that reaction now. So
what do you think of the Grisks? This is the first introduction you have to them.
okay, the Grisks, um, obviously because of where they're from, they don't have loads of experience with people from like the inner core planets, and it's their technology, so they didn't know what to expect in combat, and they didn't adapt their tactics. So I don't think they're brilliant tacticians. It's because in every scenario it was attack who's up front, attack who's up front. That they didn't adapt it, whether it was in the space combat or like boots on ground. It's just whoever's closest, shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not the best of tacticians, but
I get what you
it's
mean.
yeah,
I see this. I can't really say much. That's the thing. They are brilliant, but they have weaknesses as
yeah,
well in their strategy. And also, you gotta remember they haven't really fought in this book an actual general, an admiral. They're basically just the people who are basically scouts. Well, if you gotta keep
okay, yeah,
scouting in the known regions, capturing humans, seeing how they work, how they can be, you know,
yeah,
you know. Anyway, maybe I even did say too much. I don't know. Anyway, that's basically what they're doing. But no, yeah, there's one thing that Thrawn fears, and that's the Grisks.
yeah. That
The whole the whole reason you missed that in the first book, but the whole reason he joined the Empire is the Grisks.
yeah. It's obviously I'll get that full circle completion when I get that. But I have to tell you about my favorite moment.
Mm-hmm.
So after the bar scene where they ended up having basically had to go to the ship, Thrawn was like, use the force to control the body.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
And then later on, we see Vader use that exact same tactic to control his own suit.
Mm-hmm.
And that, using Thrawn's tactic, using the idea as Vader, absolutely incredible.
I love the parallels. It's like it rhymes as it says. It's like poetry. It rhymes how it's told in both past and present, and you can see how they both affect each other.
Exactly. It's like when I found out about that tactic, I was like, that's Thrawn's idea. And it's absolutely incredible just to hear that and just picture it like I said.
It's so
It's
cool. Yeah. Also, I want to talk about the stormtroopers because it's in the same scene as well.
oh
The Vader's fist,
yeah,
the 501st,
501st.
actual competent stormtroopers as they are in canon everywhere except for live action and TV shows. Everywhere else in games, in novels, in comics, they're shown as they are in this book, absolute elite troopers, best of the best. Of course, the Viperverse is the best of the best, but even other stormtroopers are competent.
Yeah, it's
So this is your first experience with competent troopers. What do you think?
oh, it's incredible. It's they're not shown as being stupid with their ideas. They're coming up with ideas on the spot. They can do it. And my voice then.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hang on, I'm just having a quick drink.
Yeah, no worries. No Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi. But yeah, it's you see him coming up with ideas on the spot. They're loyal to each other. There was like, we don't want to leave you, and it's when the Grisks ended up shooting one of them, and it basically paralyzed them for a bit.
Sort of. It's been a while since I read it, of course, but
Okay, yeah. So basically, the Grisks ended up shooting them, and it didn't kill them, but it immobilized them. Basically,
oh,
shut their body down.
that is. But yeah, I remember you told me about this when I asked because
Yeah,
I asked for like updates per chapter,
yeah.
which you didn't do in the last few, but it's fine. You
I
have
I
this,
I I know.
but
I was going through it. I wanted to just
yeah, which is good, which is good. But that's how stormtrooper armor works.
yeah.
People say they're killed often. They're not killed, and I
No,
don't think that people I don't think the people who make the shows understand how stormtrooper armor works.
no,
It's you get shot, and
and
the
it
armor is
disperses the
made
energy.
to disperse the energy,
I
so you get either immobilized or paralyzed, but you don't get killed.
I didn't know that until see they don't show it that well in the movies or other media.
Because I'm pretty sure they don't even know how it works. I mean, they did know in the movies and that stuff, but as in George Lucas era. But Disney, I don't know if they know. It's so weird because they show him to be killed, but that's not how the armor works. It's so
It,
weird.
it's like I said. I I ended up asking you that question. I said Thrawn's armor is incredible because he got shot and it just dispersed the energy. And Codic was like, all armor does that in the Star Wars
Well,
universe.
not all of them, but
No,
most.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but obviously because I hadn't been exposed to it properly in a way that it clarifies it like that before, I had no clue. And now that I
Hmm.
know, yeah, it's insane to see.
And you know what I like? I like how Thrawn absolutely trolls Darth Vader about his identity. Like every
Oh,
time he says, "Last time we went, there is no we. No one on this ship ever went on this planet." I'm sorry. My apologies. And then the next time he says it again, remember when we? No we. There's no we. Anakin Skywalker's dead. Shut up. That's not me.
uh,
I love that all. But it's pretty sad that because it's basically him trying to get his friend, but at the end he knows Anakin isn't there, as in mentally, his
yeah,
friend is dead. Because he said instead of saying "so I was told" every time, at the end he said um or he says like "so I've heard." At the end he acknowledges. He said yes, he, he's dead. I believe it now.
I can't get through to him. It's as much as I want to get through to the guy I met on Batuu. It's I can't get through to him. It's
So yeah, he just accepts and never mentioned it again.
which
He
is
sees him as Darth Vader.
it's a shame because obviously the experience that they had, they worked with each other. They didn't have a common cause, but they managed to get their causes to work as one. It's obviously Anakin wanting to rescue Padme and Thrawn wanting to get that generator. So
Hmm.
it's making that work.
Bro, it's just I want to say so much. I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say one
Okay.
tease, just one tease. It's a very small line. Don't know if you remember when they met Anakin and Thrawn. They were still in the ships in space.
Ooh,
Thrawn told,
I
yeah,
remember they was on the ship. It's well,
not
obviously.
not on each other.
Oh
They were talking to
no,
each other.
I know through the comms.
So, how many people were on Thrawn's ship?
There was two.
Anakin, yes.
On Thrawn's there was Thrawn and the pilot.
It's always like it's good that you remember. Remember that
Yeah,
because that pilot has never been
yeah.
exposed in
We
this
yeah we don't
in
know
this
who that
book.
pilot is at the minute. Up
You'll know.
up until yeah. So up until now, I don't know who this pilot is.
You'll know. That's what I'm gonna say. You'll know.
Turns out it's
But
Kenobi. Anakin, what are you doing here? But
it's a plot twist. I never expected it to be that person. But it's no one you know, by the way.
no. Okay.
Just want to throw that out there, so you don't get like disappointed, whatever.
Yeah.
It's still really it's still really cool reveal.
Mm.
But anyway, no, but the biggest thing as well, we learn a big secret about the Chiss, and those are the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
What,
And,
what do
and
you think?
and that's why that's why Thrawn was so confused when he heard Anakin's last name. It's like
Hmm.
Skywalker. It's
What do you think of the Chiss Skywalkers?
honestly, it's how do I put this into words now? Okay. I have trying to think how to put it into words. It's yeah, I can't think. My my
Well,
my brains just went
I could talk a bit
yeah.
about it. Right. So, what I like about the Skywalkers is, first of all, the name, and it makes sense on what they do. Do you know like what their purpose is?
Not properly. It's
It is explained in the book, so I can explain. But
yeah.
how they how they navigate in the unknown regions, which Darth Vader had to do. Remember when he entered the machine
Yeah.
to navigate through hyperspace? Is the whole reason the unknown regions are unknown is because the known galaxy have safe, stable hyperspace lanes, like highways. Now imagine those highways changing every freaking minute. Sometimes you have to go right, then left, right. It's not one straight thing. It's right, left, right, left, right, left.
Yeah.
And if you just plot one forward, boom, you're into it. You jumped into a star. You're dead. So what they do is either go jump by jump, so jump ahead, whoop, jump right, whoop, jump. So jump, 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 jump takes very long.
Okay, so
Or
they hyperspace jump.
yeah, so that's what normal people do.
Yeah.
Or you have the Skywalkers, or in this case, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, who are force sensitive. And for the Chiss, it's only the kids, the children, are force sensitive. After the age of whatever, you'll know what's age. They're not Skywalkers anymore. They're not force sensitive anymore. They can't. They're still force sensitive, but they can't tap into the force anymore. So the Skywalkers are always children, and they, using the force, can see ahead of them. You know, like how Vader and everything can
Yeah.
see ahead. So then, because they can look ahead, they know, oh, there's a star coming. Turn left. Star like whatever asteroid field there. Turn right. So that's why Vader was in the machine, and that's the purpose of the Skywalkers.
Okay, yeah, that make yeah. Now that you've explained it like that, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's
because going through a book like that, trying to comprehend every little detail
yeah.
in one go like one time going through it, it's to pick up on everything is difficult.
Yeah, no, it's
But
definitely.
yeah, so that that's is that could be why the Grisks wanted the children then to help to help
Turning his brain
plot
on.
plot their way through for like if they wanted to make an attack or anything like that. It's for
Sounds very, very plausible.
yeah, so that makes sense now.
But yeah, that's how I love the absolute sheer coincidence that they're called Skywalkers.
But notice how Anakin doesn't know who his dad is, and he happened to be Skywalker. Ooh, coincidence? I think not.
Coincidence.
The Chiss are secretly his father. They chose Shmi for her
But,
name.
but no, I don't know, I just love this book. It's really cool to see Vader and Thrawn's interactions together. And I don't know, is there anything else we missed? Like we didn't talk about cortosis, the armor,
Oh, the yeah, it's
Palpatine's plan. And actually I love that Vader I mean I love that Thrawn warned Anakin about it. Like he from that small thing, he knew, yeah, you guys are gonna get infiltrated. Beware, your enemy's probably closer than you think. And he can absolutely ignored it, and then Order 66 happened.
Yeah. I also love how Thrawn was just watching Anakin try to defeat the B2s. Just yeah, he needs to know how to beat his enemies. If I
Mm-hmm.
help, he's not gonna know. It's he can figure it out, and if he needs
Exactly.
help, I can. So
Ooh. Well, I have one big question actually. Something that I love about the Thrawn character, and something we don't see in Rebels. How do you think? What do you think of how he treats his staff,
mm,
and the absolute opposite on how he does it and how Vader does it?
it's you treat them with respect, they'll show you loyalty. It's you don't, and they'll only treat you loyalty to your face. That's
As he said.
so it's behind Vader's back. It's they probably absolutely hate him and just don't want to get stuff done. Whereas with Thrawn, it's they're on it straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't mess around. They follow his orders quickly. So
But it
it's
also it makes Thrawn's character more now how he is an actual not a villain. Not ho
yeah,
ho force joke and die. No, just a normal military
yeah.
guy who
It's
values hard work.
it's hard work, respect. He understands that the stormtroopers they're they're not like see. I went to say they're still human, but it's a Star Wars universe. It's I'm not sure if there are any non-human stormtroopers.
No, they're all
No.
human.
Oh,
That's something you have missed in the first book, and I don't want to talk too much
yeah.
about it. The Empire is very anti-alien, aka they are xenophobic.
See, I know that they hated the idea of Thrawn being within the ranks.
Yeah,
I know that. So I didn't know if they just hated it because he was an alien, but aliens were
yeah.
still allowed, or if they just weren't allowed full stop. So
Well, Palpatine himself doesn't care, because as you probably know, like his close allies are aliens. But it's useful for him to
mm,
just to because the majority of separatists were alien
yeah.
and not human. So in the Empire and the Imperials, they blame aliens, which is
Mm,
absolute straight up racism, and that's what I like about Disney. It's not shoving stuff in your face, but having very subtle hints on real life issues like racism. They show it not because some people was brown in the freaking Star Wars universe, because they're all humans are every color. That doesn't make sense in the Star Wars universe. But aliens, see, that's where you can tell a story about racism. But nowadays Disney, they don't care. They don't do subtle anymore. They just throw it in your face. They're like, oh look, there's I don't know, Rey Skywalker. She's a freaking female Jedi. Look, there are definitely not a lot of female Jedi's in the galaxy. Like
bully
that's
her.
stupid. No, but literally in the Star Wars universe, there's so many female Jedi's, so many. So that message doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
in Star Wars because they're all ever since before the prequels. The Force isn't it's 50-50 between men and female. So that's what I mean with like in your face stuff that Disney does
Yeah.
nowadays. But that's what I like about Franz and Timothy Zahn and
Because
actual competent writers.
because
They
it's
do it
all
very
subtle,
subtly.
but
It's
it's
subtle.
but it still has that impact.
It can still tell the story about it and basically sort of to teach you a lesson by not shoving it in your face.
It's
It's not
subtle.
spoon feeding you.
It's like subtle remarks that you have to pick up on.
Yep, but in the first book, it's more than subtle. It's just more so. It's not directly linked to the real life. Just like how the original trilogy isn't directly linked to the politics of the 80s. People say that, but it's not. Like the Imperial and the rebels, that's of course has to do with overthrowing a corrupt government. That can be everything. It's not just the US, it can be every single country. and that's subtle about it. It isn't just like in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It's subtle, but it's still you can see that someone has like an Imperial flag at the back of their truck,
Yeah.
and that's obviously a hint to rednecks in the U.S. Like, yes, it's subtle, but it's a bit too. Oh, here we go again. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
about that. Just do a bit more like in the universe, in Star Wars universe. It still makes sense, but that's me ranting about Star Wars. But that's what I like
Star
about
Wars
Thrawn.
problems.
Yeah, but the Empire is anti-alien,
Mm,
so
okay.
stormtroopers are all human.
Yeah, I was
And
getting.
basically,
Mm.
everyone in charge is human, except for Thrawn, of course, and some other exceptions,
And
because
that's
Palpatine respects
yeah.
intellect.
Yeah, it's like look who his right hand man was when he was the senator. Oh,
Oh, the blue guy, Mastermind.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
he kept him close to him. It's
And Slimore as well, which is the weird girl with the white
mm,
whatever.
yeah.
She's also in everything. Yeah,
Exactly.
there are aliens
Kept him close. It's didn't matter. It's just the other Imperials. They
because of the whole Clone Wars, which is a nice little tie between the two eras.
mm,
Because of the Clone Wars, they absolutely despise aliens. Not all of them, but like in the
no.
Imperial
Yeah.
rank. Of course, like Yularen also doesn't care.
Yeah.
If it,
I was gonna say Yularen's just in that awkward position where he's kind of
I won't necessarily call it an awkward position. It's more he is the highest of rank in the ISB. He's the absolute. He's at the top.
no.
So
I don't mean that. I mean it's like with how he was in the Republic, all of a sudden having to switch like that. Do you rec?
mm, no,
Oh,
it's
mm,
he 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 was never loyal to the Jedi. Yularen
uh,
was loyal to Palpatine. He
oh
hated
yeah, true.
corruption,
Mm,
and Palpatine was the only politician in his eyes that actually did something about corruption, and he was all for the Empire because that's why he was in charge of the ISB or
mm,
the FBI or whatever from the
yeah.
stars. He is the whole job of the ISB is to get rid of corruption in the Empire,
Okay.
and you have little corruption if only one person is in charge in his eyes. So no, your Lawrence 100% Imperial. He's
Okay.
through and through.
Uh,
But that's why not every single person in the Empire is a villain. It's just people have different stances, different
yeah.
viewpoints, and they think, Lawrence is still a good guy, but he knows how bad corruption is. Corruption led to the whole Clone Wars in his eye. Remember, he doesn't know that Palpatine was the guy on two sides. That is a Sith thing. In their eyes, there's no Sith and whatever. They just see it all as politics. So
Yeah.
he saw corruption led to the Separatists separating from the Republic and having a whole civil Clone War that wasn't civil because it destroyed a lot of lives and worlds and everything. So he wants to avoid, just like a lot of other people in the Empire, that's their motivation. They joined the Imperial Army and the Senate and whatever to make sure a Clone Wars never happens again. So
Yeah.
yes, sometimes in their eyes you have to be strict. You have to be strict to the people to make sure that they can live safe and they can live happy, even though they don't know. It is a very old way of thinking. It's before the alignment in real life. It's everything for the people, but not by the people. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't.
It's a quote from a French enlightened king back in like the 1600s. And yes, he was enlightened, but he still like he wanted to make sure his people lived, but he didn't trust his people because they were stupid in his eyes. So everything for the people, but never by the people. That's basically the thinking that the empire has.
Okay.
So sometimes the people don't know what can happen if we go that direction. We need to be strict on them because it will just be better in the end, in the long run.
It's
In the long run,
you've got to do what's best for the people even if they disagree.
sort of like that. Yes, that's basically what keeps the line of thinking for some Imperials who are
Yeah.
still good to actually accept some of the atrocities they do.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So,
So Yularen, everything, like even Tarkin, who is absolutely a villain, but Tarkin even has some points. But yeah, no, that's you'll learn more about all of the motivations and everything by just keep reading, keep listening, and expanding. Because that's what I'm saying. Like all of this, you see how I linked it with actual history.
yeah.
That's why I like Star Wars. Because not the Disney crap we have nowadays, which I do like some of the Disney crap we have nowadays. But
You know what? Cinematic wise, absolutely incredible.
storytelling is just subpar.
It's good if you want
Cin-
to. It's good if you want to see pew pew action, wee.
yeah,
But
cinematography is beautiful. It's just
but
the
plot
story.
wise,
But that's why I'm saying like everything Star Wars a little bit before Disney and even during Disney, like Rogue One and Rebels, which is absolutely amazing. Uh, there is just storytelling in there that you can link with history, and that's how it's supposed to be, in my opinion. That's Star Wars. That's why I like everything because it's you can see motivations is actually in line with what people used to think back in the day and how people may think nowadays, but they're focusing a bit too much on nowadays, which is why they're going wrong. People don't want to be told or lectured on how to live life and who to trust and who not to trust. If you do history, it's all a bit more clear. So
yeah,
just focus on history in your Star Wars stories,
and
and
it's a safe. Is it?
because I'm
It's a safe haven.
it's a safe, yeah, it's a safe haven to escape from it. Because I'm pretty sure the Imperials are supposed to reflect the Nazis, and the rebels are supposed to reflect the resistance to the Nazis in
Yeah.
Europe or in my knowledge for resistance is only actually European. I'm pretty sure they resisted in Asia as well, but I don't know if they did it during World War II. After World War II, of course, you have Indonesia who resisted against the Dutch. You have India that resisted against the English, but that's not during World War II. That's after, I think. I don't know. Anyway, that's history. So
Yeah.
you're safe with that. You can make those parallels. But if you focus on freaking Trump, that's what I did in Kenobi. If you focus on that Trump guy who have nowadays, yeah, you have a 50-50 divide in that, unfortunately. And it's all a bit more like lecturing rather than
And
storytelling.
that's how you end up with the Trump supporters with their Trump stickers.
Yeah. So they're focusing a bit too much on politics nowadays instead of history. Anyway, Alliances, really cool, awesome book, and I can't wait for you. Oh yeah, wait, one more thing, one more thing. I think we lost a lot of people because we talk politics, but one more thing. What do you think of Rook?
I absolutely love him. And not only that, his voice, it's so like it's got a harsh sound, but it's one that you want to listen to orders, and you feel like they know what they're on about.
Yeah.
It's
What do you think he looks like? Because of course I told him that we will
yeah,
see him in Rebels. He
yeah.
has never seen him yet. So what do you think he looks like?
Um, I reckon. Will we see him without the helmet? it, I reckon he's. Hmm, let's have a think. Because I haven't thought about what he looks like under the helmet. It's if you think of a stormtrooper, you think of a stormtrooper. So
Yeah.
I didn't really imagine.
So Rook, I can say Rook doesn't have his helmet on, which it's been a while for me. It's been a while for me. I don't remember him having wearing a helmet. But you read it like this week. So I believe you over my own memories
Yeah,
because yours is more fresh.
it's I.
But in Rebels he doesn't have an helmet.
Okay, that's good because there's no reference to him not wearing or wearing a helmet. But I would assume that in combat he is.
No.
No.
At least in the show he's not, and myself don't remember him wearing. He does have a cloaking device. That he
Yeah,
does
yeah, yeah.
have.
I know that. That's cool.
But
But it's
okay, let's say if he's standing in front of you,
he stood in front of me, not wearing a helmet.
not wearing a helmet, is he strong? Is he tall? Is he small? Is he
I
short? Is he
mm,
what is he?
I can't imagine him being small. I can imagine being like 5'9", 5'10".
My
Qu-
height roughly.
Quite stocky build. Um,
Basically me. Oh wait, stocky. What does that mean? What does stocky mean?
stocky, like built like a brick shithouse. Built like a brick.
Okay, no, that's not me. Okay, so my
Like
height,
like
that's
they're muscular,
muscular. Yeah, yeah. All right.
like Arnold if he was shorter. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Fun fact: you described him as he is in Legends.
Ooh, that's
In
cool.
canon, he's a bit different, but that's an interesting observation.
But yeah,
Cool.
that's how I imagine him. I imagine him having a scar on his face somewhere, battle wound.
Okay.
That's what I picture.
Cool. Well, all I want to say for now. Don't know if you have anything.
No, that's pretty much it. I've covered the main things I wanted to talk about, so
Yeah.
I'm happy
Well,
with that.
yeah. We need 5 more episodes and then Thrawn treason,
Yeah.
which does it sounds all very very. What do you think? Since it's like a little ahead of, what do you think is gonna happen for in Thrawn's future?
I mean,
The title
treason.
is kind of.
um. Well, I'm pretty sure he stays loyal. I'm pretty sure he doesn't do anything that would harm his reputation to the Empire.
Mhm.
No, it's all about his people. It's he, he's gonna do whatever he can for his own people, so it's gonna lead to him betraying the Empire because his people come
Interesting.
first.
Ah, well, we have to wait and see.
Yep.
We have to wait and see.
Um.
You would be surprised. All right. Well, you can do the outro.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having to listen to that next book. Pretty sure we're gonna do the same thing again. I'm down to. So
I mean, I love talking Thrawn. No one, frick, I can never talk Thrawn with anyone, so I take every chance I can.
I was gonna say it's one of them where you've just got me straight into the character. It's
Yeah, that's all Timothy's on. That's all the author.
yeah.
I'm not gonna take credit for that. That's all the author.
You pushed me in the
Mm,
direction though.
yeah. Okay.
Gotta do something for your ego.
Gotta feed it a little bit.
Just a little. But yeah. I'm gonna leave a link to Codic's channel down below. Check him out. Um, we've covered everything, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Oi.